find out life's this game of inches. So is football. Because in either game, life or football, the margin for error is so small. I mean, one half a step too late or too early, and you don't quite make it. 1/2 second too slow, too fast, you don't quite catch it. The inches we need are everywhere around us.
Welcome into the Gibson Fantasy Football Podcast.
Yeah, another week down.
That was fantasy football at its best.
I enjoyed it. it.
That was what we needed, man.
Oh, what a big week.
Just points from everybody.
Yeah. It was guys, too, that, were told to put in a lineup and really stood it out. Just did so well. So,
yeah, all your, probably 90% of the studs were coming through.
Mm-hmm.
And so every team in our league but one way outscored their projections. And, it was a big week, man. There was a ton of points being scored.
Yeah, it was a decent week. If we could just repeat that going forward, that would be great.
Yeah, and the funny part is we did it with the Chiefs and Chargers on the bye.
Yeah,
right.
So that's true.
No Mahomes, no Kelsey, no Herbert, no Eckler. Like missing a pretty good, crew of scorers. But
I had quite a bit Dolphins in my lineup and some Detroit players. So Detroit at home, equals points.
Yeah.
So
man, that game was crazy. The Carolina-Atlanta game was crazy.
Yeah.
There's a lot of high-scoring games.
Yeah, very decent.
It was a good time.
Yeah, it was.
Well, we're here to celebrate what was and plan for what is.
It sure is.
GibsonFantasyFootball.com, Gibson_FF on Twitter, Gibson's Fantasy Football, all one word, on Instagram, YouTube, Podbean, and Spotify.
Yeah.
Okay. Ready for week 9? But first, we must conclude week 8.
We sure do.
And there was an unfortunate soul yet again this week, as there always is and always will be. Celebrate their shortcomings.
Wasn't me.
Right. OMG.
Yeah, not a good week.
Not a good Bob. No, he did not have a good go of it. And he just really, there's not a lot to say. I mean, he and I were facing off, so I put a good whooping on him.
Yeah.
He had 95 points. He was the one team that didn't have a great week.
I'm wearing the hat. I'm drinking out of the mug. I buy their merchandise. They just year after year after year after year disappoint. Devontae Adams, 0.70 point. You can't have a guy like that on your team and have nothing to show.
He was missed Thursday, Friday practice with illness, and then he missed practice again today with illness.
You almost
he's
wonder.
Got a hell of a flu, man.
Yeah.
I don't think he really should have played. He probably didn't want to let the team down, so he tried. He had 5 targets. He had a carry for -1 yard. He only had the 1 catch, but I think he wasn't right.
No, he's a fantasy killer this year. He's just not the same, but yeah, I guess flu, it sucks, so can't blame too much. But I think it's Raider Nation. We need to move on from the car experience. No. We need to do it. You know what's gonna happen? He's gonna make the next few weeks he's gonna look like the next Tom Brady. The guy he can't win the big games. He just can't do it. I'm done with him. Done.
Shut down the car. Taking him to the mechanic.
Bring in the car. Don't bring in the car.
Send in the car.
Send in the car.
Yeah, and I mean, OMG had a pretty good start to the day, right? Like Jerry Judy, right? 6
Yeah.
for 63 and 1, looked good. And Jacksonville D, 5 points, not bad.
They were looking better in that first half too, and I thought they were going to get them more points. So then they started to slowly disintegrate in Denver. Who knew that was going to happen? I mean, big win for you guys. They
We
needed
believe
that.
in miracles.
Heading
into the bye.
But yeah, other than that, I mean, you got a big game out of Nick Chubb, but by that time it was too little, too late. So
I mean, 101 yards, 2-point convert, 2 TDs.
Yeah.
Josh Allen was actually kind of subpar by his standards, right? 218 and 2 with 49 rushing and 2 picks.
It's not like, you look at his bench, it's not like he left like 3 or 4 guys on there where they got, 20 points or something. They just unfortunately, J.K. Dobbins, Breece Hall, both on the IR. That's huge, man.
Yeah, Devonta Smith because A.J. Brown stole everything.
Yeah.
Hawkinson, I guess you could have pivoted, but it was only an extra point or so from him.
Yeah. So
he got nothing out of Adams. Lazard ended up missing. Singletary, Taysom Hill, Deontay. Just no love.
Speaking about on the other side, though, Christian McCaffrey.
Woo-hoo!
That shows up big time for San Fran, and
man,
that's dangerous right there. That's a dangerous
trifecta. Team. He throws for a touchdown. He catches a touchdown. He runs for a touchdown.
That trick, throw it in there.
Oh man, that was impressive.
Oh, what a game.
My team, we did well there. My defense, I traded for the Bills D. I knew it might not be a great week this week, but I was okay with that.
Yeah.
But outside of that, and
good call.
Olave, who was 5 for 52 because they didn't need him in the second half because they were destroying Vegas. Everybody else, man.
Good call on the Cousins pickup.
Yeah.
I like that.
The stack with Jefferson.
Yeah, that was great. Walker the third had a big game.
Came through with a late touchdown.
Yeah.
And CeeDee Lamb came through again. Stevenson. So it was a good day, man.
Good old the Buffalo kicker too. You took.
Yeah, Bass. Yeah, grabbed him off. He was on the waivers from being on a bye, so loading up on my Bills.
Nothing wrong with that.
So now we did not play a song for me. Means that
No.
I am not the champ of the week. My 150 points was not good enough, which is actually rather surprising based on what we've dealt with this year.
High scoring this week.
Yeah, so that means that someone else is must be what, jumping for joy?
Jumping.
Got a little hop in their step,
A little hot.
little spring.
A little hot. Yeah.
Woo! Jump around.
Pumped up.
This guy.
Pumped up.
Man, you were in the matchup of the year.
Oh, yeah.
So not only was my 150 points not the highest on the week,
It wasn't even second.
it wasn't second. It was actually lower than both teams in the matchup. Evan went and put up a 153.7.
Big score.
And you said, nay, it shall not be good enough. You went with a 165.18.
Gesicki.
Woo!
Gesicki was the guy.
Finally got a tight end that helped you.
10 points and over. Finally, it happened. And I left Kyle Pitts on the bench. That would have even helped me even more.
Of course.
But you can't be mad at it because I was over 10 points. So I'm pretty happy about that.
Goosed from the kicker. But
Yeah, it was
Mixon didn't do much, but other than that, holy moly.
no.
Higgins came through with a touchdown. Tua was on fire, which was because Waddle was on fire. The Philly D was doing their thing. Sanders came through with a touchdown. Gesicki with a touchdown. Pollard with the hat trick.
Yeah.
Whew. Evans got the job done on Thursday for you.
Started off good.
Yeah.
Yeah, just
I mean, on the other side, right? Dak with a big day. Cooper Kupp doing his thing. Diggs doing his thing. Montgomery a little disappointing, but Dalvin Cook with a big day. Zach Ertz with a touchdown. Ayuk with a touchdown. DJ Moore with 152 and 1 on 6 catches. 5 from the D, but yeah, he just
our kickers basically no show. Two of
Yeah.
the better kickers in the league too.
yeah,
Just-
McPherson and Carlson.
Can't blame them. They just didn't get the opportunities. Well, at least Carlson did. So,
Yeah. I mean, poor Evan. He picked up Jamal Williams last week to play instead of Swift. Swift comes back, so he benches Jamal Williams, and he runs in 2 touchdowns with 76 total yards for 21 points. Lockett, too, left him on the bench for a 12, but really wouldn't have mattered. He would have had to shuffle around his running backs. So Jamal Williams was the only thing he could have done.
He had a couple guys on the bench. St. Brown, 10 points. Pitts, 16
Pitts,
points. And Gibson, 17 points. So,
Yeah. Your Mahomes bye week was – I actually feel like you probably did better than Mahomes has most weeks.
yeah. Well, he's turned it
Mahomes
up in the
been
last
pretty
few
awesome,
weeks. The first few weeks, though,
Yeah.
I could have used that.
Man, crushing it.
Whew,
Back
needed
in the
that.
back in the win column.
Needed that because it's in an 8-man, 8-team league. You still got a good chance at 3 and 5.
Oh, yeah.
That's not over yet. It's
Top
not
4
over.
getting in.
Yeah, that was a big win because 4th place, 7. So
Yeah. Taking
need to
them
make
down.
those grounds. Need to beat those individuals. So
And there was another matchup that was close, but not as close as the last one we'll talk about. And another big score, right? So Kreger put up a 138, which again would have been champ of the week most weeks, but
yep.
Don was like, hey, I can up that. I can do a 142. I mean, Burrow let Craig down big. That was really the tipping point.
Yeah, I don't understand that one.
That
I mean,
was
I know
crazy.
Chase is missing, but
They had no points until the 4th quarter.
Yeah.
No points.
I know I was getting a little worried in my game, but
Yeah, if Higgins didn't come through with that touchdown, it could have got dicey. Yeah, I mean, Pittman didn't have a great day. Boyd was not what we expected. He caught a touchdown, but he wasn't good. Barkley, a little bit of a subpar day for him. Aaron Jones went ham with the 143 rushing yards. Kittle got the touchdown. Kamara was the highest scoring player on the week with 3 touchdowns. Another player that had 3. Benjamin didn't do much, but 16 points between his defense and kicker. And then on the other side, Don one-upped him with 25 points between her defense and kicker.
Yeah. Koo was just tearing it up.
And the rest of her team, she really got led by the defense, the kicker, and then 3 players.
Yeah.
Murray, Hill, and Hopkins. But those 3 players, Murray, Hill, and Hopkins, combined for like 85 points.
That's all you need.
Yeah. That was crazy, man. That game with Hill, 12 receptions. That was crazy. Every time you turn around,
Yeah.
throw to Hill, throw to Waddle, throw to Hill, touchdown to Waddle.
Yeah, it's. I mean, there's going to be better defenses that they're going to go up against. It's going to slow them down a little bit. But when you look at a fantasy matchup and you're seeing Detroit at home, play those players.
Yeah, well,
Play 'em.
Green Bay versus Detroit at home this week.
Who's the wide receiver for Green Bay?
It's gonna be the rookie Romeo Dobbs.
That's it.
Unless Lazard's back.
This is going to be a testing week. Can Aaron Rodgers do it? I mean, he should be able to.
You would think. He did okay against Buffalo last week. They couldn't really throw the ball very well, but he got his.
I mean, who was it? Philly put up a boatload of points against Detroit.
Week 1, man.
Yeah, in Detroit. There was another team in Detroit that put up a lot. Seattle, I think
That
so.
game was crazy.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
bye.
Well, now we get to the saddest matchup of the week for Jay.
Matchup of the year.
This was crazy. So Dan, coming in first place, only lost once on the year, and Jay gets ahead of him, and he's ahead of him by 1.9 points.
Mm-hmm.
And the only thing that's left for either team is the Seattle defense. And so the only way that the Seattle defense can win is if something happens. Final drive of the game, Daniel Jones gets the ball, and you think, well, they'll probably just throw a few incompletions and call it a day. And he drops back and he gets sacked. And now Jay's up by 0.9 points. And you're like, okay, well, the clock's about to run out. They're probably just going to run the ball or take a knee. And he drops back. He gets sacked again with less than a minute left in the game. And all of a sudden, 137.26 to 137.12.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Tough one. That's a tough one.
Oh, Jay. Young Jay.
I needed that, though, when I look at the standings. So
Probably try to catch Jay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it helped you.
Dan's he's running away with this right now.
Easy. We're both sitting at 7-1 now. But yeah, so it Hurts had a good day, Etienne had a good day, and then his kickers, 21 points from Folk for New England. They just kept kicking field goals. They only had one touchdown on the day, and the rest was just field goal.
Yeah, not a fan of it, but it is what it is.
But yeah, and then on Jay's side, Henry, goodness, 219 and 2 on the ground against Houston. And Lamar was okay, but Andrews left that game early on Thursday. That really hurt him.
Yeah.
And then Jacobs in your Raiders matchup and Renfro as well.
Yeah, nobody for the Raiders showed up.
No, there was nobody you liked. No. The tight end, Foster Moreau, had the best day of anyone.
What did you get, like 4 points?
He was like 6 for 40, so maybe like 6 points. So, yeah, it was a bad day. But, man, that was about as tight as we've had in a little while.
The closest one, yeah. That was exciting to watch there.
Yeah, it was down to the wire. All right. Let's jump back over then. So, injury and trades update.
Woo-hoo, quite a bit.
Let's do the injuries, and then we'll have some fun with the trades. So, players we're not expecting: Hollywood, Treylon Burks, Elijah Mitchell, J.K. Dobbins, David Njoku, Mike Williams, Rashad Bateman, Kenny Golladay. Now, Cordell Patterson could be back. We're waiting to find out on him. And then some other players that are probably out: Baker Mayfield, Jahan Dotson, Jarvis Landry, Michael Thomas. And then there's a bunch of people we're not sure about. So, Waller, Connor, Lazard, Andrews, Jonathan Taylor, Swift, Keenan Allen, Cooper Kupp, and Brandon Cooks.
Yeah, Connor looks like he's practicing, so limited though. I did see that. So
it was going to be like a game time decision last week, and then they ruled him out on the Friday. So it'll be interesting. He might be able to get back, and they've got all the way till the Sunday.
Yeah,
So.
I'd be. I don't know though. I have him on my team. I think even if he does come back, I'm keeping him on the bench for now.
I would for week 1.
Who
Just
knows?
in case, right?
Yeah.
You never know what that split's going to look like with him and Darrell Williams and Eno Benjamin. Now, trade time. So, let's go sort of least impactful to most impactful. So, Zach Moss goes to the Colts.
Mm-hmm.
They lose Naeem Hines. We'll talk about where he goes in a second, but I don't really think that matters. Zach Moss is not going to do anything.
No.
Now, Chase Edmonds goes to the Broncos.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously leaves Miami. We'll talk about that in a second. But again, he joins Latavius Murray and Melvin Gordon. There's too much going on there already in a not good offense.
Yeah.
So, not super exciting there either. Let's go. We'll go Hines to the Bills. So that's where Hines went. So semi-intriguing.
Mm-hmm.
Good pass catching back. They were looking for that. They were initially going to grab J.D. McKissick from Washington. He re-signed. So, I think he's intriguing, but I don't think he has a whole lot of fantasy value. He's maybe a flex guy you can throw in now and again. But
yeah, when it comes to fantasy, no. But when it comes to the football
sure,
aspect.
because, you got Devin Singletary there, and you got the rookie James Cook. So, there's still too many mouths to feed.
Yeah, I think.
And they just don't run the ball.
No, they're a passing team. That's what they're based on.
Just
so,
out.
and I don't think Cook's really just not performing to where I think they want him to perform to.
He looked
so.
good on the Sunday night game in the second half. Actually, he had some nice runs. So he showed a little bit, but the fact that they went out and grabbed Naeem Hines and said, "Well, Zach Moss has been inactive a couple times. We don't need him, but we'll grab Hines." Yeah, it makes me think that they don't want to trust Cook in the playoffs when the big moments
No,
come.
he's a rookie. Yeah, you give him some time, but
Let's go. This one's kind of intriguing. Let's go Claypool to the Bears.
mm-hmm.
So, Darnell Mooney's there. He started to have some relevant games. Justin Fields is looking a lot better. He's mostly using his legs, not so much his arm, but does take Claypool from a pretty crowded Steelers offense with Najee and Freiermuth and Deontay and Pickens to Mooney and Komet, I guess, but that's about it.
Yeah, I'm hoping that he's going to perform pretty well over there. I like that. Good pickup for Fields. I like it. I like the pickup. I don't, it's not going to make him a playoff contending team, but
no. Good for Fields and good long term. Chase Claypool's still only 24 years old.
Yeah, the guy's got future ahead of him. I like the pickup.
Let's go this one then. So Jeff Wilson to the Dolphins.
Mm-hmm.
So this is a big one. So after they grabbed McCaffrey, they obviously have Elijah Mitchell coming back soon, so they didn't need Wilson.
Oh.
And he goes back to be reunited with Mike McDaniel, who was in San Francisco, who has Mostert there, and then they dumped Edmonds so they could make room for Wilson. So intriguing for Wilson. I don't think he'll have standalone value because I think Mostert will be the guy for the most part.
Mm-hmm.
But definitely as an insurance backup to have. We know what he's capable of when he's the lead back. So
I'm keeping him on my team right now.
Yeah.
Because I like him. I think he's pretty consistent if they're going to play him.
Mostert's 30 or 31.
Yeah.
30 years old, I think. So, he could break down at any point, and then all of a sudden you've got the starter on the Dolphins offense, which is a dangerous offense.
Oh, yeah. So I like that pickup. I think it just adds more depth to that running team. I like it better. I almost like him better than Edmonds in a way.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, for that fit, for that team, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And then the last one is probably the biggest for fantasy. TJ Hawkinson goes in division from the Lions to the Vikings.
Yeah.
So
that's interesting.
I don't think it helps him too much. I mean, I think it's kind of neutral, right? He goes from like a passing team to maybe slightly less passing team, but good quarterback still in Kirk Cousins. Still not going to be the number one because Jefferson's there. But after Jefferson and Dalvin Cook, he's kind of right there with Thielen.
Yeah.
So I think it'd be good in that sense versus, he would have had to deal with Hawkins, or he would have had to deal with Swift, Amon-Ra St. Brown, and then he was kind of the third guy with Chark and Reynolds. So similar, I think, in that sense.
Yeah, I think you'll see more consistency in Minnesota than he did in Detroit. I think just better offense in Minnesota, and obviously Detroit can put up points, just not on the road anywhere but Detroit. So I think with Minnesota, I like it. I like that pickup for them.
I think it boosts Cousins' value as well.
Yeah,
because
if
they were trying to look with Irv Smith, and he got hurt again, and now he's going to miss 8 to 10 weeks. So
yeah, I have him in another fantasy league, and that one hurts. He was coming on this year too, and you had some bright games, so it's a tough loss, but it's a good pickup for them.
Yeah, I think that. So I mean, I think with the biggest winners, I would say would be Kirk Cousins, Justin Fields, long term. Maybe Chase Claypool because he could be the guy in a better offense. And then Jeff Wilson is a really good insurance back.
Yeah. Agreed.
All right. Survivor picks, my man.
Oof.
We did not. One of us came through there. So I took the safe bet with the Cowboys against the Bears. And the Bears actually put up a ton of points. So that was pretty impressive. But the Cowboys still came through. And you said those Giants are going to keep rolling right on through those Seahawks.
They should have.
And they did.
No, they didn't.
Gino led the crew, and they got themselves a W.
Gino.
How? Put the no in Gino for you.
Yeah.
So now you have 4 right overall on the year, and you're on a current streak of 0. I have 3 right on the year, and I'm on a streak of 1. So neither of us is doing particularly well. But let's see what we can throw for this week.
Well, I'll tell you one thing I'm throwing out. Vegas Raiders. They are not going to win this week against Jacksonville.
So
who's in Jacksonville? I'm pretty sure it's in Jacksonville. So I'm going Jaguars.
Oh, he's picking against his team.
I know.
Using them to do his survivor pick. Rough times in the streets.
This will be the week though. Card shows up and performs.
That's right.
It doesn't matter though. It doesn't matter because it just won't win the big game. So keep doing what you're doing.
Bitter Raiders fan here, folks. All right, I'm gonna keep picking on the Bears, and I'm gonna go with the Dolphins. They look great, and Tua's on fire, and I just can't imagine that the Bears can slow them down.
No,
it's not gonna happen. All right, upset pick of the week. Same deal here. You went with the Cardinals over the Vikings, and the Vikings came through. That was a good game, actually. No one was back and forth. There was a lot of points scored. Cardinals had a chance right up until the end there.
Yes.
Murray threw an interception, and that was the end of the road. And I took the Commanders to upset the Colts, and they did. Heineke, man, 2-0 on a roll. So I've taken the lead now on the upset picks with 4 out of 7, and you're at 3 to 7. Let's dig into who we got this week.
You know what? I'll take the Rams over the Bucks. The Rams, I can't believe the Bucks are even favored in this. I mean, I know the Rams aren't the greatest team this year, but geez, the Bucks are not good.
That's fair.
So I'm gonna upset. Say the Rams beat the Bucks.
Rams over the Bucks.
Yeah,
I like it. I
could spend a lot of time because there's a couple of other games there. I was gonna go with the Commanders again. I was gonna go with the Commanders. Ride your kind of win there
over Mini.
Yeah,
I don't know, man. That's a bit of I get it, but
it's an upset, right?
Yeah,
I don't think it's going to happen. I think Minnesota's going to win that game. It's a tough one though. It's in Washington.
Yeah,
it's not an easy one.
No, I'm thinking
the Packers. Are they Packers favored in Detroit?
They are.
They are favored.
Yeah, I know. I considered it.
Yeah, Detroit really.
But
they could definitely pull that one up. I mean, at home. I won't put it
I'm
past
tempted. So the Seahawks and Cardinals actually met like 3 weeks ago.
Right.
And it was a brutal game. It was like 17-9.
Right.
But they got the Cardinals favored, and the Seahawks won last time. And I like what they're doing, so I'll take the Seahawks.
Yeah, that's interesting that they would be favored. Oh, I guess it's in Arizona.
It's at home, right?
Yeah. Okay. So,
but 2-point home favorites is essentially not a favorite.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'll take the Seahawks there. All right. That's our survivor picks. That's our upset of the week. Now, perfection lives on, Aaron.
It's going to live on this week. I'm just gonna say it.
Do you know who they're playing?
Houston.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was like, are you just bold? Like,
I'll just.
I don't care who they're playing.
No, they
That'd be pretty awesome.
Pretty favorable schedule right now. Sports fans are just living it up in Philadelphia right now. I'll tell you that much. So, yeah.
So let me. I was looking at this the other day. I'm going to read you their schedule, and you stop me when I read a game that you think that they could lose. Not that they will lose, but they could even. There's a chance they could lose. Okay. So Houston, Washington, Indianapolis Colts, Green Bay Packers, Tennessee Titans, New York Giants, Chicago Bears, Dallas Cowboys.
Maybe the Cowboys, but they already beat the Cowboys.
Right. So that's the one, right? New Orleans Saints, New York Giants. There's one game.
That's their schedule?
Yeah, there's one game the rest of the entire year that they could possibly lose.
What did the owner pay somebody off? I mean, this is like the easiest schedule.
Well,
get out of here.
mean, to their credit, they did knock off the Dolphins, the Vikings, and the Cowboys and Cardinals already. So they beat some decent teams, but no, there's not a hard schedule.
They're not playing the top tier teams. They're just not.
But they also didn't finish as the good. Like they finished 9-7 or 9-8 last year, right? So they're not going to get a top tier schedule because nobody thought they were going to be a top tier team, right?
Oh man, that's
Yeah.
they could be one of those teams that goes 16-0 first game playoffs, they lose.
Well, 17-0 this year.
17, yeah, that's right. So
it's going to be fun actually to see if they could. Do you think they could go 17-0?
I don't know. You know,
It's really hard to do that, even if you're always the favorite and you're always better. It's just hard to have a good week every week.
and as easy as I say they're going to win tomorrow, Thursday night games. Just Thursday night games can be just a flip around, upside down, Stranger Things. Just turn it up.
Yeah.
I mean, it can happen. I mean, I'm not saying Houston's going to win,
I wouldn't
but
pick Houston as the potential to upset them. But
no, either would I.
But I mean, also I like the Saints. You know, they're looking better if they get Jarvis Landry, Michael Thomas, Kamara. If they get everybody healthy, maybe in 5-6 weeks, whatever that was, maybe there's a chance.
Well, and as it goes on, if they continue to win a couple more games, other teams are really going to put it all out there because nobody wants to, be the team that loses against the perfect team. They want to crash the party. So
the Dolphins will start paying people.
Yeah.
Protect that in a perfect season. All right.
50 years it's been, isn't it?
Yeah, didn't they have the anniversary?
Yeah. The one guy still has the champagne bottle. He's waiting to pop it.
Yeah.
For the next team that does it. Somebody do it for him. I think he's
gonna have to leave it in his will to the next family.
Oh man, that's gonna be one hell of a glass of champagne. It's gonna be very bitter.
Yeah.
Or sweet tasting, whoever
that one ages well.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's flip over to this week. We got some marquee matchups this week, man. It's gonna get intriguing. So let's go. This is a good one. I like this.
Yeah, I think it's
actually, we'll go with the sort of the least exciting to most exciting. We'll try to save you. So we got OMG trying to bounce back from the basement at 1-7, taking on Kreger at 4-4. Obviously, lineups are not perfectly set at this point, but looks like OMG's got Chubb on a bye, Deontay Johnson on a bye, Judy on a bye, and his kicker on a bye. So that's not a good time.
No, he's got a few buys.
Mm-hmm. And a couple IR guys. So he's going to have to do some maneuvering. And Kreger's missing Barkley and Kittle, so that hurts him a little bit. And he's got to go get himself a kicker and a defense. Looks like maybe he already did that, actually. Any hesitation in picking Craig here, or are you just going to ride it out with the favorite?
I mean, I hope OMG pulls this one off because I need to, make some ground.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping OMG pulls off, but I just think Craig's got the better team right now. So
it's just too much.
Yeah, even if he changes the lineup, he could still do it. But missing Nick Chubb is a big one.
Yeah, I mean, Kreger's got some intriguing folks in there because he doesn't have his full squad. So he's not going to have a really good team. It's doable if OMG's got to go hit the waiver wire and make some moves. You have to give him a call and harass him.
I will. Yeah. Make that the next week's segment.
Are we both picking Kreger then?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's get that one out of the way. Now, this is the one I was kind of intrigued by here. So we got Jay at 3-5 coming off the brutal loss, and Evan at 4-4 coming off a brutal loss as well.
Yep.
Thanks to the hand of you over there. And poor Evan, man, he keeps getting hit with these bye weeks. So no Brandon Ayuk and no Dak Prescott. His backup's Russell Wilson, who's also on a bye. So he's going to have to go quarterback hunting. And, I mean, he's got Lockett that he could throw in on the bench or Juju. So he'll be fine at receiver. And then Jay pretty much looks like he's got his full crew, although we don't know what's going to happen with Andrews, whether he's going to play or not.
Yeah, it did pick up likely.
It's likely a good move.
Just wish it was last week.
Honestly. Yeah, otherwise he's got his full squad.
Yeah.
So obviously Evan's going to grab a quarterback. Let's assume he throws in Lockett or Juju here. What are you thinking in this one?
I'm going with Jay on this one.
Yeah.
Again, it's just another one of those. I just need a I know they would be tied. If I end up winning this week, he wins, then we're kind of tied with the record. But then also Evan's there, so
All right.
strategic. Jay,
Well,
win.
How about I'll go with the Evanator. He had a good week last week. I know he's missing Dax, so that's going to be unfortunate. But there's a quarterback or two that could help him win this week. So
This is where, sometimes I'd probably maybe drop Tua. I'm keeping him on my bench.
Are you? I wondered about that, actually. I was like, I wonder if he's going to keep Tua.
You're not getting Tua, Evan. You're not getting Tua.
No, Evan needs to just go ahead and drop Russell Wilson and get a quarterback.
Yeah, ain't nobody picking up Wilson.
Nobody's grabbing Wilson.
No.
He's been terrible. Plus, he's on a bye week.
Yeah.
There's no reason. He can sit there.
Yep.
All right. Let's go
Let's go to me and Don.
Yeah, let's do it. 3-5 versus 3-5.
This is a big one.
This is it.
This is the big
the
one.
way the standings are right now. There's a clump of you all at 3-5 and 4-4 outside of OMG and me and Dan. So 2 people are getting in on top of Dan and I, assuming we continue to do well. So somebody, there's opportunity.
Yeah.
So we got Mahomes, Higgins, Evans, Mixon, Sanders. You got Pitts back in there, right?
I put Pitts back
Chasing
in.
the touchdown.
I'm going to keep an eye on it because likely might go in there. Likely might go in there.
Okay. All right. That's fair. So yeah, if Andrews misses, then you're gonna pivot.
He's in.
Pivot.
Pivot.
Yeah, I got that Eagles D.
Yeah, I'm trying to keep that. I was hemming and hawing about it. Thursday night game, though, like I said.
Oh, that'll be just fine.
Yeah.
I wouldn't overreact to that.
And after you just told me the matchups, but
Yeah. Dawn, yeah, so she's missing Hunt and Fryermuth at tight end. He's on a bye. She's going to have to hope Waller's back because Njoku's still out. Otherwise, she's going to have to go tight end hunting.
good luck.
She's her Dallas D. She's going to want to keep them. So she's going to have to find a defense. But that's usually pretty doable. There's usually somebody out there.
Yeah, you got to just look at the matchups, and I find, it's easier said than done. But if you're able to find that one matchup, you can get some good points out of it.
All right.
Gesicki's, I think, available. I think I dropped Gesicki, so
There you go.
not a bad
Safe to
tight end.
assume you're going to take yourself this week, even though you took Kevin last week.
I did take Evan
and it
last
was
week.
wrong.
It was wrong. I mean, the dude put up points.
That's funny, man.
Maybe I should just take Don. Maybe this is the
Yeah.
whole thing. Maybe
All right.
we'll see. We'll see after this week. I'll
Some
take
sort
myself.
of, reverse psychology here.
If I lose this week, I'm betting against myself the rest of the way out.
All right. Next up, the battle for first place.
Big one.
7-1 Dan, 7-1 me. I think he's got like 10 more points than I do on the year, so he's technically in first. And unfortunately, man, I was so mad. I was like, all right, I get my crack at Dan. I would have beat him almost all of the past 4 or 5 weeks. I've had higher scores. And of course, when we play each other, what 2 players am I without? Christian McCaffrey and CD Lamb.
Yeah.
I was
Those
like, man.
especially after the week McCaffrey. Just sad.
It hurts, man.
Yeah.
I would have been a heavy favorite, but evidently I do not have those players. I still have some good players to put in there. So I'm not too worried about it, but it definitely keeps it closer than it would have because he's missing guys like Najee Harris and Sutton and Cooper and Gordon. I mean, Cooper's been pretty good, but Najee and Sutton have done nothing. He's not playing Gordon. So he gets back his good players and he's in good shape, but yeah, so he's got Hurts and I got Goddard, which is always interesting on the Thursday night there. So I need him to be throwing to Goddard and not running in touchdowns. But,
Or to Devontae Smith or
AJ Brown.
AJ
which is
Brown.
obviously going to happen, right? But gotta hope Goddard comes down with one of his touchdowns, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, I got Herbert back in there against Atlanta. I got the usual Jefferson. No Chase because he's still out. No Lamb, no McCaffrey. But
that hurts.
yeah, Metcalf, Kenneth Walker, Stevenson, Goddard, Olave, Gabe Davis, hoping for a big one, and then the Buffalo kicker and D. I like the Buffalo D against the Jets. Feeling pretty good about that. And then he's got Hurts. He's got Godwin and Myers, Etienne, Eckler, Kelsey, Fournette, Swift. Swift is kind of Dicey isn't practiced again, but he'll probably play again. That stupid Nick Folk kicker from the Patriots. And then the Seattle D against Arizona right now. So
we're kicking the ball.
Yeah. What are you thinking there, Aaron?
Yeah, I said Dan was running away with it earlier, so I think I got to stick with that.
Okay. It's going to be interesting, man. It's going to be a big matchup.
You should go against yourself. It works out sometimes.
Yeah. My only loss to the year so far is Dan. So it's going to be interesting to see if I can redeem myself or if my only 2 losses to the year become Dan.
Yeah.
Well, all right. Anything else to add for the matchups?
Nope. It's going to be a fun week. Another good week coming up.
There's only one thing left to do.
That Spanish?
Shrink on me, vamos.
Vamos. All
right.
The good stuff.
We got our own little fun segment this week. It's called Fantasy MVP. So, through 8 weeks, we're going to go position by position, and we're each going to call out who we think the fantasy MVP at that position is. Doesn't have to be the player that's performing the best. Could be based on draft cost, could be based on expectations, could be that they're the number 1 player at the position, but let's go quarterback. Who do you think's been the fantasy MVP that's helped fantasy managers the most this year?
Ooh, I want to say Mahomes because of the last few weeks, but he hasn't helped the first few weeks.
Yeah. Well, he had that really good game 1.
Yeah.
A couple of bad weeks, and then he's been good since.
Yeah, he's the first name that comes to mind, so I'm not going to drag this out too long. So I'll go Mahomes.
All right. I think the low-hanging fruit would be Jalen Hurts because he was drafted fairly late. In all leagues, and then doing really well. So I think that's kind of the easy one. But I'll actually throw out Justin Fields.
I like it.
He's been a top 12 quarterback in 4 straight weeks, and he just got Chase Claypool, and he's got an easy schedule coming up. So I think he can surprise some people.
I got to say the dark horse this year has been Geno Smith.
Oh, that's another good one.
It's been, and you're the one that brought him up and told me about him, what he's doing, because I didn't even pay attention. I'm not paying attention to Geno Smith. Who's paying attention to Geno Smith? Geno Smith.
Seattle, yeah. They were like, we don't need Russ.
Pete Carroll just.
That offense is on fire.
Yeah.
All right. Tight end?
Kelsey.
Yeah, I know. It's kind of hard, eh?
The guy's just he's been the most consistent tight end in the whole league.
Yeah.
Like,
I know. I'm trying to think of somebody else. I mean, Goddard's been pretty good, and he was like in that middle round, so he's a good value. I think he could maybe be next. Andrews struggled with injury the last few weeks. So that's been kind of hurting his value. And then once you get beyond those guys, it's a bit of a crapshoot.
Yeah.
The only other one I would throw out who's been really good, especially as of late, is Evan Engram for the Jags.
Yeah.
That's another one.
Yeah.
All right. Wide receiver.
Ooh, I gotta go Justin Jefferson.
You going Jefferson? Okay.
Dude's been
He's been good.
Tearing it up.
He hasn't scored as many as the top guys because he doesn't have as many touchdowns.
Right.
But he has been uber consistent outside of that week 2, week 3 performance.
Yeah.
So he's been nice to have on the team for sure. I'll go. It's a toss up for me between AJ Brown and Tyreek Hill.
Yeah.
They both switched teams. They were both in situations where we're kind of like, are they going to be really good still? Can Tua support Hill? Can Hurts support AJ Brown? But yeah, I think either one of those two.
Waddle could be thrown in there.
Oh, Waddle could be in there too, for sure. Yeah.
Too bad Jamar Chase probably could have been thrown in there before the injury.
He was looking like he was about to tear it up.
Yeah, he
those
started
two back-to-back games of wide receiver 1.
Yeah, he started to come out with a shell. Yeah, there's been a few guys that have been a bit of a surprise, but Gabe Davis been a bit of a
Give it time.
give him a hit and miss. Hit and miss.
Know. That's how he's going to be.
I wouldn't say bust. I would not go as far as saying
no,
bust.
There's an injury that he's had 2 really good games.
Yeah.
One really good game, 2 good games. So
yeah. Devontae Adams.
That's not good.
Bust.
Yeah, 2 good games and then a lot of not helping people.
No.
But Diggs would be he's back in there. He was highly drafted, but he's been an animal as well. Cooper Kupp as well.
Yeah.
All right. Running back.
Oh,
last but not least.
This was like 2 weeks ago. Brees Hall would have been just number 1.
So sad,
I hate bringing it up, but
so sad.
That sucks. I'm trying to think now. Who's been just a solid running back? I don't think of my team. And it's not on my team.
I mean, I think if you're looking at like comeback player that nobody saw coming, it'd be Saquon Barkley.
Yes. Yeah.
I think that's the one narrative that you can definitely go with.
Yeah. Yeah. I would go Barkley.
Outside of that, I mean, I know you got kind of some of the usual suspects up there between CMC and Eckler and Henry.
Chubb's been consistent.
Chubb was on fire. Yeah, he got another 2 touchdowns there today. So he's probably back in the mix for the RB1 overall.
CMC though,
just lost another one.
I mean, he hasn't had.
Oh, he's had some good weeks still.
Yeah,
but
he's okay. Yeah,
he's on fire.
I know he's on your team, but he didn't come out flying out of the gates or anything.
I think there's a couple other ones of players that were number 2 and have emerged now. So like Ramondre Stevenson, who stepped up for the Patriots. Travis Etienne stepped up for the Jags. So those are a couple of they've taken over the backfield, right? Brees Hall, like you mentioned, had taken over Michael Carter, but
not taken over, but Josh Jacobs has done pretty well in Vegas.
Yeah.
Obviously last week, but he's been on really well.
Rookie Dameon Pierce. Houston's would be Kenneth Walker's another one. Took over for Penny because of the injury.
Yep.
So there's been a lot of running backs, leader running backs that we weren't necessarily
for sure.
But if you went, honestly, as long as you didn't go Taylor or Najee, then I think you'd be pretty happy if you went early on running back. Yeah. CMC, Barkley, Henry, Eckler.
I know.
Mixon.
Just going back to wide receivers, because I know the one wide receiver that I drafted done really well. St. Brown.
Oh, Amon-Ra.
Yeah,
he's been really good too.
I'd say minus the injuries.
Yeah, if he didn't miss those games because of injury, then I think he'd be in the conversation.
Yeah,
for sure.
Definitely.
All right. Game of the week.
Oof. I always forget about game of the week. I always make sure to pick the spoiler. I make sure to pick the.
Tell you what, it's not. It's not the Eagles and the Texans on Thursday.
No, it is not.
That's definitely not the game of
the week. No.
Not
the Ravens and Saints either. On the Monday night game.
Packers Lions is intriguing.
Yes.
That comes to mind as an option.
There wasn't the Titans and Chiefs, both 5-2 teams.
Yeah, but the Chiefs, man.
Oh, at home too.
Yeah.
But we've seen this before where, we think the team isn't that great. They start off the season.
Yeah.
The Tennessee Titans, they could be that team. So
I'm just going to ride Derrick Henry as far as
absolutely. Why not?
Yeah, Bucks and Rams is kind of intriguing, right? A couple of struggling teams that had high expectations. And the Ravens and Saints is kind of intriguing too to see how do they make out.
Yeah.
Or Seahawks Cardinals isn't too bad either.
No, game of the week for
I think I'll go Packers Lions is mine.
Yeah. I'll go Titans and Chiefs.
Okay.
Sunday night game.
Do it. Well, Chiefs, Packers, Lions, Titans, Chiefs. Be some fun foosball.
It is.
I just hope we get even like 80% of what we got last week.
Yeah, that would be nice.
I don't expect it to be what we got last week, but
No.
just like 80% of it. Like
Game in England this week? I don't think there is. I think no, but week after, I think Germany. I swear this Tampa Bay game was supposed to happen in Germany like 2 weeks ago, but
right. Tampa Bay and Seattle, right?
Yeah. Stop it. Just play at home. Stop with the overseas stuff. Jeez.
Money, my man, money.
They got enough.
Tell that the rich want to get richer.
The poor stay poor.
Well, I guess so. All right. Well, GibsonFantasyFootball.com, Gibson_FF on Twitter, Gibson Fantasy Football, all one word, Instagram, YouTube, Podbean, and Spotify. Until next time, clear eyes, full heart.